Hello, welcome to Yoga 30. My name's Erin. So we're going to get started. If you want to take a seat down on your mat, you can take your legs wide if this is more comfortable, or if you prefer to cross your legs in half lotus, then we're going to get started here. So making sure both sitting bones are down evenly on the mat. I want you to sit tall, chin slightly tucked. Relax the shoulders. You can rest your hands on your knees or maybe in your lap. I want you to close your eyes. Start to connect with the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Without judging or changing anything, just start to feel aware or become aware of any sensations. So how you're feeling, is there any warmth or heaviness? Are you holding any tension in your body? Maybe how you're feeling, angry, stressed. Just being aware of these feelings in your body and your mind. And then start to feel those opposite feelings and sensations. So if you feel tension, just start to feel some ease. If you feel any heaviness, being aware of feeling light. And you can take this into your practice as well, but not making any changes, just becoming aware. Okay, and then slowly open your eyes. We're going to take the arms out by the sides. We're going to cactus the arms. So this is opening the front of the chest. And then take the arms out in front of you, cross over at the forearms, bring the palms together, tuck the chin as you exhale. So just feel the stretch at the back of the neck. Inhale, cactus. And then we're going to cross over the other side. So palms together, tuck the chin, and breathe out. Inhale, come back to center. Hands by your side. We're going to take the legs out wide. Again, making sure sitting bones are down evenly. Some might find this a little bit harder than others, so if you can, bend the knees here if you need to. We're going to tuck the right leg in. You can have this resting just at the inner thigh. You don't want it on your knee. Just make sure you're comfortable. And we're going to inhale, take both arms, so we're reaching towards the left foot. As you inhale, your right arm comes behind you. Left arm comes up. We're lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come back down. Lengthen, take the arms over to the left foot. Inhale, rise. Lift up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come back down. Lengthen. One more as we inhale and rise. And then come back to seated. So we're going to swap over the legs. Right leg extends out, left leg comes in, finding the sitting bones down evenly. We're going to lengthen down towards the right foot. Inhale, left arm comes behind, right arm comes up as you inhale. Come back down, lengthen, reaching towards the right foot. Come up. Inhale. We're going to go for one more. So this is keeping the movement dynamic. Inhale, rise, and come back down. We're going to tuck the legs under and come round into a forward fold. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Finding a neutral spine here. So just the natural curve of your spine. Belly button in. Just holding the breath for a few moments, looking down towards between the hands. Okay, so now from here, without making too many movements, we're going to just warm into the shoulders. So we're just going to dip the shoulders down and then exhale, lift. So drawing away from the mat, inhale down and then drawing away. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go for 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Tucking the toes, we're going to take the knees off about an inch, keeping that belly tucked in, starting to feel the warmth in your thighs, in your shoulders, into the glutes, and just bringing that mind into the muscles, so just noticing where you're feeling that work. Release down, untuck the toes. We're going to go for a few rounds now of cow and cat, so working into the spine. Inhale, open the chest, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the chin, draw the body away. Inhale, open the chest, lifting the pelvis. Exhale, tuck the chin. Just one more. And then exhale, draw the body away. Come back to neutral spine. I'm going to take the hands out just a little bit further. We're going to come into a downward dog, so spreading the fingers. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Keeping the knees bent here, so we're lengthening the arms through the spine. Hips are high. And then we're going to slowly walk the feet towards the hands, taking them just a little bit further than your shoulders. And we're going to bring the hips down into Malasana, so Hindi squat. Hands come together. Now, if you find this a little bit difficult, you can come into cobbler's pose. So sitting on your sitting bones, feet together, so you've got a diamond shape, and just drawing the chest down towards the toes. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Malasana. So to here, just pushing the knees into, the elbows into the knees. Okay, and then as we exhale, we're going to take the hands down. If you're in cobbler's pose, come into a forward fold, and then we're going to lift the hips, straightening the legs, just drawing the toes in, the heels and the toes back into hip distance. And we're going to inhale to half lift, feel that stretch down the back of the thighs. Exhale, forward fold, bending the knees here. We're going to take the hands behind us, interlacing the fingers, and we're going to take them up and over, so towards the floor. Keep remembering to breathe. Release the hands, one more half lift, lengthening through the legs and out through the crown of the head, creating space here. Forward fold, bend the knees. Just shaking the head, yes and no. Okay, so from here we're going to come into our sun salutations. Keeping the knees bent, we're going to slowly rise, just taking the arms up around the body as you come up one vertebra at a time. Come up with the hairs and the shoulders stay tucked. So this is extended mountain. We're going to go into a forward fold, bending the knees, hands frame the feet. We're going to take the legs back and come into a downward dog. So starting here, just walking through the feet, bending one leg, extending the other. Okay, and then coming still, just coming into your downward dog. We're going to roll out to plank. If it's easier to bring the knees down, do this option, but otherwise, if you coming with me, we're going to come down to Chaturanga. So exhale, come down, release here, roll the shoulders, and inhale, come to up dog. We're going to tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Just bringing in the feet slightly. We're going to bend the right leg and come into three-legged dog. We're going to open through the hip here, so keeping your shoulders square, both arms extended, and we're going to open out the top leg, and then we're going to square that hip. So just bring the right hip down, take that foot down, then bending the left knee. We're going to bring that left leg up, open out through the hip, then squaring the hip again, so bring the left hip down towards the mat, foot comes down, bending the knees. We're just going to walk the hands to the feet. Okay, we're in a forward fold, so keeping those knees bent, we're going to come into chair pose. So we're going to peel the chest away, hands come to heart center. If you feel like you're rounding in the back, then maybe come up a little bit higher, because you want to have that length through the spine. Tailbone is tucked, belly button in. So feel that weight grounding down through the feet. Okay, so once you feel comfortable in this position, we're going to hover each one foot at a time. Put the weight into the left foot, take the right leg foot away, and release down. Left foot, there shouldn't be too much movement. And release down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, creating space. Exhale, bend the knees. We're going to rise up. Inhale, extended mountain, all the way back down again. So forward fold. Taking the legs back to downward facing dog. Okay, bending the knees. We're going to roll out to plank. Again, you've got the options with the knees down. Exhale down to chaturanga, elbows in. Release down, roll the shoulders. Inhale to upward dog. So making sure your glutes are strong here. Tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees. We're going to come into three-legged dog. So bring the right leg up, open at the hip. Making sure the fingers are spread. Bend the knee. Square the hips. So the right hip comes towards the mat. Foot comes down. We're going to swap over. Bend the left foot. Take that leg up. Open out through the hip. Keep those arms strong. Bend the knee so the foot comes towards the buttocks. Okay, then we're going to square that left hip. Chest towards the thigh. Take the foot back down. We're going to bend the knees, and you can either walk or jump to forward fold. We're going to come back into chair pose here. So bend the knees, peel the chest away, hands to heart center. Again, lengthen through the spine. Your chin is slightly tucked. So you really should start to feel the warmth in your thighs here. We're going to take that right foot away, hover, release back down, swapping over. Okay, and then forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Folding down again, just releasing the head, and then slowly roll up. Okay, so we're going to come into our sun salutation B. Now, if anyone's got a block, we have got the option in a moment to use this, so I will let you know when you can. So standing at the top of your mat, starting in Tadasana, we're going to inhale, take the arms up, forward fold, bending the knees. Inhale, take the legs back to downward facing dog, bending the knees. We're going to inhale, roll out to plank. Okay, strong through the lower back. If you feel you need to bring the knees down here, then you've got that option. We're going to exhale, down to chaturanga, elbows in, release, roll the shoulders back. You can stay in cobra or come to upward dog. Tuck the toes, bring the hips up, downward facing dog, deep knee bend, and we're going to bring the right foot forward between the right hands. If this is a bit difficult, you can just take the hand by the ankle. The back foot, we're going to take out on an angle, but you want to make sure the whole foot is down. We're going to come up, so we're coming into warrior one pose. The arms come up, and I want you to square those hips as well. Arms come up, you can either look out in front of you or up towards the ceiling. Shoulders down. Okay, just hold for a few breaths. Okay, we're going to bring the hands down to heart center. The back foot, I want you to pivot so the toes are now facing forward. So we're in a high lunge position. So just get the feet comfortable. We're going to use the weight through the front of the thigh. We're going to inhale and exhale, straighten that front leg, raise the arms. Inhale, come back down, bring that knee towards the mat, ankle over, or knee over the ankle. Inhale, and come back down. Take that for 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to go to 10, 7, so really feel that your weight pushing you up through that front foot, working into the thighs and the glutes. 9, one more, and 10. Okay, so from here, we're just going to take the arms down. We're going to come on to bring the weight onto that front foot. The back toes of your left foot are just touching the mat, so all the weight is here. Hands to heart center. We're going to come into half moon pose. So Ardha Chandrasana. So that left foot or the leg comes up. We're going to pivot the arms round. So this is where you can use your block. If you find it easier to balance, the chest comes round. You're extending through that left top leg. If you can, straighten the standing leg, making sure that right knee is facing outwards instead of in. The arm comes down and the top arm comes up. So making sure you're breathing into the pose, keeping that top leg high and straight. Now we're going to transition straight into Warrior Two. So we're coming down slowly. Okay, just get the feet into the Warrior Two position. Front knee is out, both feet flat on the mat, so your back left foot should be flat. Arms come out, looking down through the right arm. Bringing that knee backwards, opening out through the hips. Shoulders over the hips. Breathe. Maybe you can deepen as you exhale. Wherever you come to, just making sure you've got your position of the poses correct. And then we're going to straighten that front leg. Exhale, come over. So once you've got to as far as you can, we're going to just take that right arm down, left arm comes up. So Trikonasana. If you find it easier to rest that top arm on your hip, that just helps you open out through the shoulder, bending that front leg. We're going to pivot round, so hands come down. We're going to take that right leg, we're going to come back to downward dog, and we're going to come into a vinyasa flow. So roll out, exhale down to chaturanga, release, roll the shoulders, and come into up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. We're going to bend the knees and walk or step into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up to standing, extended mountain. I'm going to go onto the other side. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to take the legs all the way back and come into downward facing dog. Just walking out through the feet. Okay, then finding the stillness. We're going to roll out to plank. Exhale, come down, keep those elbows in. Release, roll the shoulders, come into up dog. Tuck the chin, tuck the feet. Downward dog, bend the knees. Bring the left foot this time in between the hands. The right foot, as we come into Warrior One, comes down. We come up, bring the hands up towards the ceiling, shoulders down. Just remember to square those hips. Look up to the ceiling or out in front of you. As we hold, keep breathing. Okay, take the arms down to heart center. We pivot that back right foot. Once you've found your position, we're going to extend that front leg, bring the arms up. Exhale, come down. So that's for 2, 3, pushing that weight through the front foot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now we're going to take the weight over onto our front left foot. So the right toes are just touching the mat. So you've got that nice extended position, pose from the top of the head down to the foot. And then we're going to take the right foot off. And we're going to come into a half moon pose. So we're going to twist the torso round. That top right leg is extended through the hip. Okay, you might find one side is a little bit easier. The front, the standing leg is extended, the top arm is up. Okay, so we're going to transition into warrior two. So slowly bend that standing leg, right leg comes down, get the feet into the correct position. So you can see a different position here, maybe from behind. So we're opening out through that hips, both hips. Right, left knee is pulled back, arms out, and we're now looking down through the left arm. Okay, we're going to hold, keep breathing, making sure the tailbone is tucked, extending the left leg. We're going to exhale and lean over towards the left. Once you've got to as far as you can, we're going to pivot the arms. Left arm comes down, right arm is up towards the ceiling. If it's easier to have that on your hip, maybe just have it here. It helps you open the top shoulder. Remember to breathe. We're going to bend that front leg. Hands come down, pivot the right foot. We're going to take the left back to downward dog. Bend the knees, roll out to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga, elbows in, release, roll the shoulders, inhale to upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, just walking out through the feet here. Feel the stretch down the back of the legs, and then just finding that downward dog position. Arms extended, knees bent. And we're going to come into Sun Salutation C. So rolling out, options with the knees. Exhale down for 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping those elbows in and hold. And we're going to push up all the way back to plank. So push up, and then we're going to come down to chaturanga. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, roll the shoulders, upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, back to downward facing dog. So we're going to come into wild things. We're going to extend that top right leg up, open up the hip, bend the knee, and then here we're going to pivot on the left foot, and we're going to take the right leg down. So we're going to extend that left foot, the right arm comes up, so lifting up through the hips. Okay, then we're going to roll back to downward facing dog. Roll out to plank. We're going to go onto the left side, and we're going to come down for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, push back up to plank, and then down. Chaturanga for 2, 3, 4. Release down, roll the shoulders, upward dog. Tuck the toes. We're going to go to the left side. So extend that left leg, open at the hip, bend the knee, pivot on the right foot, left foot comes down, left arm comes up and over, lifting through the hips. And then rolling back. We're going to come into one more vinyasa. Bend the knees, roll out. Exhale down to chaturanga. Release, roll the shoulders, upward dog. Tuck the toes. And then we're going to walk or jump to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Roll up to standing. Roll the shoulders. Okay, so finishing in Tadasana, we're going to come down to the mat. Okay, so I want you to extend the legs out in front of you, both sitting bones down, and we're going to take the left leg in. Now you can take it to your calf if you want to, or you can take it to your inner thigh, just not resting it on your knee. So wherever you feel comfortable, just readjusting your position. We're going to have that front leg, the right leg extended from the hip. So we're going to have the hands by the side. So as we inhale, we lengthen. Okay, and then as we exhale, we extend. So bring the arms out in front of you. You can have them resting on the mat, maybe on your leg. You can always in this position, if you can come down further, you can use a block. Sometimes you can rest your head on the block if that's easier. Okay, so we're going to just hold this pose just for a few breaths. So you want to have your upper body relaxed. You don't want to be hunched over and have your head, pulling your head down towards your knee or your thigh, because we want to extend here. So you want your spine fairly straight. Release any tension you have in that leg, okay? So try and relax the muscles. And then as you exhale, we're going to just come, even if it's a micro movement, just a little deeper into the stretch. And we're hinging from the hips here, so we're not coming down with the shoulders. Okay, and inhale, come back to center. We're going to bend that left knee, foot comes down to the mat. The left arm comes round, hugs round that left knee. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale to sit tall, and we're going to exhale, twist. So deepen into the stretch. Relax those shoulders. Come round to the other side for a counter pose. And we're going to come back to center. Now we're going to bend the knees. Just extend them out just a little bit further. The hands come out behind you, fingers facing the back of the mat. Okay, so once you're comfortable, chest is up and open. We're going to inhale and we're going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Then we're going to bring them down and bring them back up. So we're opening through the front of the shoulders, front of the chest, and then lift up. So try and make that, as you bring your hips up, try and make it quite a quick movement. We're going to go for 2 more. This is working into your thighs and your glutes as well, and come back down. We're going to come into a vinyasa, so tuck the legs under, downward dog, bend the knees, roll out to plank. Exhale, come down, elbows in, release the shoulders, downward dog. Upward dog there, and then downward dog. Bring the knees down, swing the legs round. We're going to go onto the other side, so extend the legs. This time the right leg comes in. Making sure you keep the foot in the same position you had, whether it's at your calf or inner thigh. Readjust your position. We're going to inhale and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you find one side, you can go a little bit further. Release that muscle in the leg. And then exhale, deepen slightly. Inhale, come back to center. This time the right foot comes down and the left arm hugs round the outside of that right knee. Left hand comes into the mat as you sit tall, and exhale, twist. And come round to the left side for a counter pose. Back to center. Extend the legs. We're bending the knees so heels come down, hands facing the back of the room or the back of the mat. Okay, so once you're comfortable, we're going to inhale, lift the hips. Come down, so we're going to do this for 5. So lift. Okay, so try and make that movement quite quick as you bring your hips up. 1 more, I think that should be 5. Hips come down, swing the legs round. 1 more, Vinyasa flow, downward dog. Bend the knees, rolling out. Come down to Chaturanga. Release. Upward dog. Tuck the toes. Just walking out through the legs here. Okay, we're going to come down with the knees and we're going to roll onto your back. Okay, so gently come down, just tucking those knees in, hug them in towards the chest, interlace the fingers and rolling gently, massaging out your lower spine. We're going to come into happy baby pose, so both feet facing towards the ceiling, tailbone is down on the mat. You can either leave the, just stay here, or if you want to take the hands either on the outside or maybe the inside of the foot. You want to make sure your tailbone is down, both shoulder blades. There's no tension in your neck or your shoulders. Okay, releasing, bring the feet together, take the knees out, arms come over your head, just taking hold of each elbow. And now we're going to start to connect back with the breath. Maybe you want to stay here, or if you want to extend the legs, take the arms out by your side, closing the eyes. I'm going to come into Shavasana. Start to bring your breath back as you start to feel it slow down. And notice how you're breathing on your own. So without any attention, through the nose, in through the back of the throat, into the lungs, will the stomach expand, and then out through the stomach, through the back of the throat and out through the nose. Feeling the feet relax, both ankles, the calves, the backs of the knees. Feel the feet fall away. Feel the hips open. Feel the contact with the mat, so through the back of the legs, your lower back, your upper back, the shoulders, both arms, the back of the head. Just finding stillness, letting any thoughts just come and go, and really trying to come back to your breathing. And we're going to interlace the fingers, take them up and over your head, stretching out from the toes. Then we're going to tuck the knees in, hugging the knees in towards the chest. We're going to roll on to the left side, just coming up into a seated position, crossing over the legs or extending them out in front of you. Keeping the eyes closed, we're just going to sit tall, take the hands out by your side. Feeling your core and keeping you strong, keeping you sitting tall. Okay, so you can stay here and carry on your relaxation. If you are going to finish, thank you for joining me. If you want to join us on the mat for any other classes, then I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.